to a...
Of course, it wouldn't be Mommy Meltdown if someone wasn't ringing the
there
door,
better be
the
somebody
dog's
at the
not
door.
barking, the kids aren't here, so their friends are ringing the doorbell and there's nobody here. Hi, thanks so much for joining us once again on Mommy Meltdown on Giant TV. I'm your host, Stephanie Mizzy. Today on the show, we're going to talk about something that I love the idea of, I get behind, and then it all falls apart. And I don't know about you, but for me, September is a great month to start fresh. The kids are back in school. I like to get back to routine. So for me, September is like January 1st for a lot of you. Today we're going to talk about getting rid of stuff that might be kind of heavy for you. Not the husband or the kids. Well, maybe that's a different day. We're going to talk about something that's going to be a lot easier actually to get rid of, and that is clutter, but with a little help. So I'm going to show you something today too that I don't show anybody unless you're living in this house. And we're going to get to that in just a little bit. But first, let me welcome an awesome gal and a professional organizer, Allison Moon.
Hello,
Hi, Allison. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm so excited that you came down here.
I'm glad to be here.
I have to tell you, I was talking a little bit about this just with doing Facebook Live videos, and I had so many people say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're going to have a professional organizer.
Oh, awesome.
I really love that you describe yourself as a personal trainer for your home. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I really hope that as a personal trainer for my home, it's actually going to work better for me than a personal trainer in the gym, which does not usually work very well in my favor. Let's start, I guess, at the beginning, shall we say, because a professional organizer isn't something that when you're going to school and you go to a guidance counselor and they say, what do you want to be? And you say professional organizer. It doesn't usually come up.
It's not on the top 3 list.
It's not.
It's really not. No.
So how did all this sort of happen?
Well, it's kind of interesting how it happened. I've always loved organizing. I've always been passionate about taking any kind of chaos and bringing order out of it.
Okay.
So not so much as a teenager. My mom could tell you that my room was not great as a teen.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I started to be the one to go into people's closets and reorganize things just for fun, in basements of friends who had lots of kids and they were busy.
Really?
And I would be the one to sort of reorganize and design a nice space.
I
just loved it.
Yeah.
But my chosen career was an occupational therapist. I
Really?
worked in that field for about 20 years.
Oh my
In
gosh.
the mental health area.
Oh, fantastic.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
But a series of events about 5 years ago, I got sick. I had cancer.
Okay.
And then we went about the process of adopting our 3 kids. And so
Wow.
it was a really big life transition.
It is.
And when it was time to get back to work,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at all the OT options,
Yeah.
I thought, I don't want to do that anymore.
Good for you.
And I just decided I wanted to do something with more flexibility for my family.
Right.
And less stress for my health.
Right.
And it just kind of came to me. I thought, I love organizing. I love business.
I think that's
I
awesome.
love helping people. I love the practical part of it.
Yeah.
And I basically just started a business.
I think you're so smart to do that you took something that you love and you dove in with it, because a lot of us, love it. I love the idea.
Yeah, I know.
But the actual, diving in and doing it is scary, and then making something out of it is that's
It's
another
been
part
a
of
lot
it, right?
A lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's a slow build, but it's been amazing. I love it.
You've got to love
Really
Marie
do.
Kondo right now, because
I
she's
do.
really making
Right.
well, she's making huge strides for the
She is.
professional organizing community, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've tried a few of her methods, and I'm going to be honest with you, they don't work for me because she's very strict.
Yes.
She's very strict.
Yes.
She I tried one of the t-shirt folding things.
Yeah.
I can show you the drawer. No longer are they a nice little package.
No.
They're just, she would be horrified if she saw that right now. I tried to get the kids on board with it.
Yeah.
They're just having none of it. Everything just goes in the drawer again. But I like the idea of get rid of things that don't bring you joy, basically, is what she goes with. I don't know if that's necessarily easy, because I think you can look at different things and think, well, that did bring me joy maybe at one point, and I don't know if I can just take a picture of it and just think of the time that it brought me joy. It's kind of nice to hang on to some things, I think. Do you have a mantra or some idea that you live by with your clients and with your own life that makes that organizing easier?
I do. And the sparking joy concept, I really love it as an idea. I think it's great. what I find in my actual work on the ground with people who are struggling with order in their homes is it's an incredibly individual story.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
So the question sparking joy isn't always the right question to ask. It might be one of many questions to ask.
Right.
I really think that the mantra I'm often thinking of is does this bring out the best in you? Is this your best?
Okay.
So for clothing, for instance, if we're looking at clothing, it's hard to think of a sweater sparking joy. I mean, some sweaters might spark joy.
Right.
But some of them might not spark joy, but they sure look nice on you.
Yes.
And it sure matches a lot of your skirts.
Right.
So is it the best? Like, is it the best of you?
Yes.
Does it bring out the best in you?
I like that.
And I really like to think of, does it serve me today in my current lifestyle?
Yes.
Because a lot of things served us 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't serve us anymore.
Yes.
And so that's really important. And then the other sort of mantra in my mind as I'm working with people is, instead of thinking about what we're getting rid of, let's go on a treasure hunt. And let's find what we love.
Yes.
And let's pull it out of the basement in those boxes and get it up on a shelf and display what we love.
I love that. I've tried to do that more as I'm getting older because it's funny. I think that you go through that phase in your life. Now I'm, 46 years old, and I look and I think, okay, I'm past the junk that I took along with me in each apartment I went to, in different homes that I've lived in. Now I want to have maybe nicer things, or like you say, things that give me joy. I'm looking behind you at the pictures. Last year I decided, okay, I don't have enough pictures of my husband and kids around. And those are the most important people in my life, so I wanted to see them every day. And I thought, that was it. I'm gonna get pictures up finally.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
And
I think you're right. I think that's important to do that.
And when you do that, first of all, you're fixing a positive lens on the situation instead of thinking about all the crap and all the hard decisions. You're looking for things that you love and you want to be part of your visual life. And then I find it really helps people make decisions about the stuff that doesn't quite cut the mustard on that. And then it's easier to let it go. So for instance, especially for people who have lost a loved one. So I work with a lot of people who are dealing with maybe elderly parents who have passed on. And they have all their stuff.
Right.
To go through
and then
you
it's
like everything is sentimental. Everything.
Absolutely.
My mother touched that. My mother sat on that. My mother. So I try to help them hone in on what most sort of profoundly represents her to you. Let's get that on the mantle or on the wall or in your closet. And then you've captured the sentimental part, and then the stuff that, that didn't actually mean that much to me. That was a sweater, she wore it, but not that often. She didn't really like it. And then that can go away. So it really helps when you focus positive. Pulling up the positive helps you let the other stuff go.
I like to sort of going on with that line that a lot of there's a lot of companies now that you can say if you can't let go of a sweater. I immediately think of a sweater I actually have downstairs in a closet because my dad owned it, And even my mom was up recently and she's like, "You still have that old sweater?" I'm like, what's going on? She knit it for my dad many years ago. And there are companies now that will make pillows or will make dolls. And I always think that's kind of a nice way, again, that you can display it. But it's funny because she had said that to me, you should make it into a pillow. And I said, I can't. I've tried. But I need it to still just be the sweater, So it's kind of funny. She says, you should display it somewhere. I'm like, no, I don't want it that much. I just want it in the closet downstairs. When you come up, you can see it, for yourself. Has there ever been a home that you've gone into, maybe because you work with people who are dealing with stuff that, maybe isn't personal to them, so to speak, but they've got to get rid of it. Have you ever walked into a home and thought, oh dear, this is going to be tough?
That's a good question. Okay, mostly when I walk in somebody's front door, I'm just delighted by clutter. So
yay!
So the higher the pile, the more like I kind of get excited.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I really love it, and the bigger the challenge, the better.
Really? Okay.
Having said that, I remember one home I worked in. It was a very high level, like literally high piles of stuff all around. So I didn't mind the piles, like the digging through, love it. However, I was a bit concerned about when you're going through the process of decluttering, you need space to put the things.
Right, yes.
Because I have my bins, I have my recycle, garbage, donate,
Right.
give to someone specific.
Right.
You need a little bit of room to
Yes.
take things off the pile and put it down. So I was sort of scratching my head. I mean, I acted like I totally knew what I was going to do. Like, no problem. I see this every day. But I did sort of pause and think, where am I putting stuff? Like,
Right.
I can only use my lap so much.
Yes.
But you know what? You dive in and you figure it out.
Just figured it out as you
That's
went along.
awesome.
I love that. And I suppose, you know, you play a bit of a therapist when you're in that role, right?
You really do.
you have to sort of talk people through
Oh,
the act of getting rid of stuff or keeping it, you know. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure lots of emotions.
huge.
Let's
It's such
go.
a big part of the job.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised about that.
Yeah.
I hope so, because that's what I've been trained for, and
Yes.
that's really what I'm most passionate about. To me, it's not really about how beautiful a person's house is. I don't care. That's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Right.
And even level of clutter.
Yes.
I mean, I might like things a certain way. Other people like more things on their mantle. That's not
Right.
important to me.
Yeah.
And there's no one right way to do that.
Yeah.
It's about what works for you. Like,
Yes.
how do you feel when you're in your home?
I like
And my job is to guide you to that place. Let's get there for you, so that you feel calm and you feel relaxed and energized in your space.
I love that. And when you come home, you want to feel that way, right?
You do. And whether
There's
that
enough
means-
chaos going on outside in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, when you
I
come home
really,
like that.
really try to help people create a home that feels like a haven.
I feel like I should have actually got you to look at my oldest son's room or my husband in my room. My side, no, I'm only kidding. My side's a disaster too.
Perfect.
However, those are real. That would get you really excited to see those rooms. But I am going to show you something today that I was mentioning earlier. Even my own mother, when she comes up from Nova Scotia, I'm like, don't go in that closet. Don't touch that.
Oh.
She goes.
And I'm going to get to see this.
You're going to
closet.
get to see it.
I feel very
You're going to get to
honored.
see it, and you're going to get to see it as well.
This is great.
We're going to have Allison take a look at my dirty little secret in just a bit. Welcome back to Mommy Meltdown. Today we're talking about organizing. We've got Allison Moon here, who is a professional organizer. And I was mentioning this on the air. I was mentioning this at the top of the show, that I'm going to show you something that even my own mother is not allowed to go in this closet. So when she comes from Nova Scotia, she'll try to open it up a little bit. My husband actually doesn't even go in here very often. I think he's afraid of what actually might come out of there. See, this is the closet that things go to die in, essentially. You know, it's just that stuff that has no place in the home, or it's that stuff that I'm just not really sure where to put it, or I just want to hide it because, you know, guests are coming over and you got to hide it somewhere, and it's right at the front door. So, if you're ready, I think I'm ready to show you my dirty little secret. Are you ready, Allison?
I am ready. I can't wait.
Oh my God, it's my linen closet. Look at that. It only has a little bit of linen. Has a little bit of linen. Okay, so
that looks like fun to me.
what do you... You know,
Some people go to movies.
You know the interesting thing, when we bought this house, I was so excited that I had a linen closet. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so... Because I didn't have a linen closet in my old home. And literally, it became like a junk closet. As you can see, we've got like fabric spray paint in here. We've got light bulbs. We've got pet stuff. And some linen. Oh, and puppy pads. I mean, you know, who could forget about the puppy pads? That's what we're dealing with now.
Okay.
So, if you go into a home
Yes.
and somebody's house looks like this everywhere, I am thankful it's like one or two areas.
And it's a small closet.
Yeah, it's doable, right?
It's very doable.
Where do you start?
Well, I would start, first of all, if it's a whole home that's like this, I would start with a small closet like this. Because I like a quick win. I want you to feel like, oh yeah, I get how this works.
Yep.
This is the process. And it's kind of the same for every area of your home. And then you can see the before and after fairly quickly.
Okay.
So what I would do in a case like this is I would ask you some questions like, what categories do you want to store in here ideally, regardless of what's in here now? That doesn't matter. It matters what you want to get it to.
Okay.
So what do you need to store in here?
Okay.
Who needs to be able to access it? That kind of thing.
Okay.
And then basically in terms of the hands-on, we would pull everything out all at once.
Oh my.
Yeah. We would have our bins, our recycle, donate, trash, move somewhere else in the home bins.
Right.
And we would just take it out and put it into those categories. So easy, right?
It does sound
fun,
easy,
right?
Right,
Yeah.
it does.
And then, so once it's empty, then we look at we'll have grouped the items you're keeping into like items.
Yeah.
And then we need to think about, okay, what's the best, most functional, practical, and hopefully beautiful way to store these items.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? Because I mean, you want to look at it when you open the door, especially where some things like, this is just a bungalow, right? So everyone basically is going to look at some point or other in my nasty closet, even if I have a sign up that says don't look in here. But you want it to look pretty.
Sure.
And I think that, do you find it's easier for people to keep it clean if it looks nice?
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's easier to keep it clean if it looks nice, but also if it's been well designed.
Okay.
So we need to be really intentional about which shelf each item goes on and how they're stored. Some things belong in baskets like this and some things don't.
Yeah.
It actually makes it more awkward to access.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I really feel like the baskets maybe wasn't such a smart idea for mine.
You know what? It was a smart idea. No, it's a smart idea for certain categories of items. So we have to think through which is the best.
When it comes to things like linens, for example, like I found last year, I was going through things and thinking, okay, what do I really need for a bed? So I've got a queen bed here, I've got a double bed, I've got 1, 2, 3 double beds in this house. So do I need just a sheet set for everything? Do I need more than that? Like, for me, I always think I want less laundry. So I try to declutter as much as I can when it comes to that sort of stuff. But after I did that, there are times that I think, oh God, I gotta do the laundry now because I only have one sheet. Is there like a golden rule, if you will?
I think if you can get away with just having 2 sets of sheets for each bed, that's ideal.
That's ideal.
It's always good to have an extra. A child might be up in the night throwing up or something, or
and
you're
I never thought about that. I'm going to be in big trouble.
So you need to have an extra set.
Time to get another set of sheets for everybody.
I would say keep it simple.
Yeah.
And just one extra for each bed.
So here's another question I have for you then. If you're going to do, say, a linen closet, right? Everybody talks about this.
Oh yeah.
It's the Martha Stewart way,
I know.
right? Are you a this person? Or are you a fold it nicely and put it in?
It doesn't matter what I am. It matters what you are.
Well, I've tried to be a little of both.
Yes.
Clearly, right now, I'm the throw it in. I have been the person to put them in these pillowcases.
Yes. How did you like that?
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Some people really
it wasn't bad at all. But again, you know what it is? It takes time. And so I find, for me anyway, that I just go, I gotta clean out this thing because I gotta go to work in 15 minutes, or I gotta take somebody to soccer or hockey or whatever. And so I usually end up just throwing it in to get it off my bed or out of the hallway or upstairs. Yeah. From the laundry room.
And that's okay. The fitted sheets are really tough, and to do a really nice job on it, it is quite a bit of time, and sometimes it's a 2-person job.
Yeah,
it's a king-size bed. So no problem. But you can sort of tuck it in and put it under the flat sheet and the pillowcases, or tuck it all within the pillowcase, and you can still stack it and it'll still look nice on the shelf.
Well, okay, so is that what you would recommend for something like this?
Yes.
To just stack them, get rid of the baskets?
I would get rid of the baskets for the linens, and I would just stack them in groups.
In groups.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I wouldn't put
fitted sheet would go with the flat sheet. I don't know why I forgot that word. It's probably because I never used
together, especially if you're only going to have 4 extra sets.
What if, like, I don't use flat sheets very often because in this house everybody loses their mind with a flat sheet. Should I just get rid of the flat sheet?
Yes, you should.
Yeah?
Maybe keep one for a picnic or
I was
something.
Say, I think I keep one downstairs because my mother always, when she comes up, she goes, "Where's the flat sheet here?"
I'm the same way. I can't stand the flat sheets.
My husband
I don't buy the full sets anymore. I just buy a fitted.
Ah, right. I forgot that you can do that. Yes,
absolutely.
That's what I should be doing.
That's what you should be doing. Think of all the money you'll save.
I know, right? You're saving me money. You're getting me organized.
Exactly.
Things like, this is a perfect example of what, I would hope my life would be one day.
Yeah.
This is where my dining room stuff is.
Nice, okay.
Except I really only use these 2 things. These are like beautiful that somebody gave me for my wedding like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Placemats.
Yeah.
I can't tell you a time that I've used those.
Right.
Charger plates, things like that.
Yeah.
Do you just say, you know what?
You can let
them go.
If you really don't see yourself using it in the next year for any occasion coming up, you can let it go. I mean, maybe they're not that expensive to replace.
Right.
That's what you have to think about.
That's the other thing, right?
If I really decided somehow I need chargers in my life,
right?
Well, how much is it really going to cost me to replace it? Not that much.
Not that much.
And you might be due for an update in terms of the style to match the new paint colors in your home.
True, right? Yeah, I never
so
thought about
these
that.
old things don't actually match anymore anyway.
Yeah.
We're just holding on to them, and you're going to pass it on to somebody who maybe is in need and who could really use it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's all about getting rid of the amount of stuff you have to take care of.
Yeah, that's my big thing. Especially, and I find that, like I said, at the top of the conversation that we had, as you move through different phases of your life, like I found as the boys got a little bit older, I got more like, get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
I used to keep a basket when they were little, and I'd fill up the basket and then put it all away. Now I'm like, I'm done with me cleaning up everything. Now it's your turn to clean up stuff. So it is about I find that my organization has to be better now than it ever was before because I'm trying to train them.
Well, you want to
so one day they make somebody else's life a lot easier. That's really what it's about.
That's a lofty goal.
It is a lofty goal. You're right. Now,
that.
do you think that in a closet like this, because this really is the closet that is it? I hate to say it, but it is a catch-all for like everything in this house. Yeah. Because my kitchen's only so big, and so I look and I think, well, I still got to keep some kitchen stuff in there, and then it becomes like some birthday stuff. I probably could, move some of this stuff downstairs. And you look at it, you're like, that could go in the basement. Yeah. Now, is that what you kind of think? You look and go, okay, this needs more shelves, less stuff?
I think it needs, first of all, declutter is always step one. So you want to get rid of whatever you can that you really don't need or that really doesn't get used often enough that it needs this prime spot.
Yes.
Because you're right, this is a very central spot.
It is.
So it's a really important closet.
Yeah.
So once you've decided what needs to stay, and maybe you want to keep the birthday stuff handy, that's fine. I think you'll want to designate this shelf would be linens, for instance. This might be everything to do with cleaning supplies. This might be, whatever the categories are. But we want to look at really using how you use each shelf too. So, for instance, we're losing a bit of vertical space here.
We are, yeah.
And that's why I like these for things that you're not using often. If you're using something every day or every week, you don't want to be going into a lidded bin.
True.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
But for things like birthdays, that's a perfect thing to buy a couple of those, and then you can stack them high because they're square. You don't lose any room. The round, you're losing some space.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
In a closet this small, you want to maximize every square inch. So, and you want the height. You don't want to miss any height. So I would stack a couple of bins here.
Okay.
And you know what I would do with this kind of stuff? I've actually brought something that is probably one of my, it's not pretty, but boy, it's functional.
Yeah.
And if it's hidden, now you'd have to adapt it to this door because the door's a bit smaller, but you can cut these down.
Yes.
And it's not pretty, but if it's behind a door, no one sees it. And what I would do, and this whole spot, these are actually shoe hangers.
Yeah.
You just put things in here. Always get a clear one so you can see it. You could put all your cleaning things in here.
Yes.
You could roll up some rags in here. You could put anything, extra pens, light bulbs, whatever.
And you could just cut that, like you say. Like, I like the idea of, that's the other thing, right? Like, as we're talking here, I'm thinking about in my bathroom, this being like a 50 or 60-year-old home, they always had these like little areas. So in the bathroom, I have another area that, has a lot of space for towels, which is where I keep it. But maybe I should be moving my linens to the bathroom as well. And I could make this, a cleaning closet, if you will.
And then it's
for something like this, you could still cut a bit of it and leave, your broom. Like, I don't even know where my broom is. That's why it's not even in here. I said, where's the broom? But yeah, I love that idea.
It's these are, I don't know, $15 or $16 at Canadian Tire, and they really work.
And they work
well.
And I ever thought of that? That's a fantastic idea.
They're pretty great. You can get nicer versions of canvas ones, but the clear is really nice.
Well, you can see, right?
You can see everything. There's no guessing.
Right, yeah, I love that idea.
And then this becomes about storing larger items. So all the little things go in here.
Yes.
And then if you've got larger groups, like you've got some sewing kits. That might be a sewing kit. It could maybe fit
even go in there, right?
Absolutely.
That's my extent of my sewing, guys. That's the extent of my sewing here.
That's great.
That's if anybody loses a button in this house. But you see, this is what happens, right? Somebody opens the door and I'm like, oh, hold on. Hang on, everything falls out.
Yeah.
So that's what I need to do. I need to empty it all out. and then buy some things that are going to be
absolutely
use the space better.
Use the space better. And there'll definitely be things, I'm just going to take this down.
Yeah.
Definitely be things that you can use bins for.
Yeah.
So not the linens or towels, I wouldn't say, unless you had a whole bunch of extra face cloths that are for the puppies or something, right?
Yes.
Then you could keep those in a little basket.
Okay.
But I really want you to think when you're using baskets, see, this isn't great because look at all that height,
exactly,
right?
Yes.
Using a lot of space there. So, and I always like to,
And essentially, if I take out the baskets here,
Yeah.
I mean, I could stack all of my
Yes.
linens really in one pile
Yes,
and
you
still
could.
have this
Yep.
left.
You could. And then I'm not sure what's in here, but some combination
Who knows?
of things.
Who knows what's in there?
But even upgrade to a
Of course, it wouldn't be Mommy Meltdown if somebody wasn't ringing
No,
the
there
door,
better be
the
somebody at
dog's
the
not
door.
barking, the kids aren't here, so their friends are ringing the doorbell and there's nobody here.
But even something, I mean, I'm not sure what your design
Yes.
style is, but just doing something that feels like it reflects the personality of your home
Right.
and your color scheme. Because, you can find
Yeah.
baskets everywhere, all different price points, from dollar store to Pure Wine Imports. You can find all kinds of things.
I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, do you know how much money I've spent on 31?
Right.
31 things? And they just sit around because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
how am I going to use that? That's what I could do
This is
with
where
them.
You could do it. You want to make sure you use open bins for things you're using more frequently.
Yes.
The closed lidded is fine for things you're not using more than, I don't know, once every 3 weeks or more.
Or more, okay.
Yeah, and
okay.
then you can, the advantage of the lidded is that you can stack them. Whereas this, you're still going to lose a little bit of height.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Excellent.
what.
So what's
there's
the key to
lots of
keeping
options.
it clean? Once you get it there, once we clean all this and we get it to the point that I need it to be, then what? Is it every week you should kind of tidy it up?
This is the question. First of all, let me tell you, once it's been properly organized
Yes.
and you've really been intentional about where everything goes, it's going to be super easy to keep it out.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
not that I'm not saying that it won't get messy,
Right.
because that's life, right? It's
Yeah.
like cleaning the bathroom. You don't just do it once. You're gonna have to keep doing it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's fine, but it's gonna be pretty easy to fix it because you know exactly where everything goes.
Well, and that's the other thing I was going to mention too, that my husband gets so irate with me when I clean up because he'll say, he likes to leave everything on the mantle. I left it on the mantle for a reason. Now I don't know where it is. If you're that kind of person who's out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
now what? Like you have to write things down and
Well,
post it on the side of the fridge.
Honestly, I've recommended that for clients.
Really? Yeah.
Where two things. If I've done a whole home organizing project with somebody,
Yeah.
and what that means is that it's like, think of a domino,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So domino effect, where you're moving. These things go to one area of the home, everything else like you're moving
Okay.
things all around.
Everything's going around.
So
okay.
it's like it's been reshuffled, the deck's been reshuffled, no one knows where anything is. What we know and trust is that it's in the right place now.
Yes,
But
right,
you still have to
okay.
get used to where that is.
Yes.
So I will actually do a map of the
Okay.
home for
Okay.
people, and whether it's a list form or actual map,
Yeah.
so that all of the categories
That's a
are
smart
clear.
idea. Yeah.
So, and you only have one place for each category.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
All the board games go here.
Yes.
All the tools are here. You're not
Yes.
looking in 2 or 3 places.
Yes.
So you still have to learn the place, but once you know the place, you know it's always the place.
I love it.
So yes, I do maps. I also do sometimes, no, I wouldn't do it for something like this unless there was a lot of hidden. But think of those cupboards above the fridge that are way deep in.
Yeah.
And you can't
Yes.
get to, right? So I will write a list of all the contents in that and just post it, just tape it
Okay.
inside the cupboard door.
Oh, smart.
So
That's
instead of
a
digging
smart
through,
idea.
it's awkward. You just
Yes.
open up, oh yeah, this is where
This is
the
what's here.
Christmas platters are, this is where the extra mason jars
Yes.
are, etc.
Oh my God, Allison, I want you to come into our home. I mean, I know you guys must want to have her come in your home too. This is amazing. As soon as you said tools, I immediately thought this is an awesome gift even for my husband because he's like, we mentioned, has a hard time with organizing. He's been working on a tool bench to get it organized for
nice,
2
yeah.
years.
It's hard
time.
to find the time.
It's time
do
to get
it.
them organized in that
Yeah.
tool bench, and me as well. And I know that someone watching today loves the tips, loves what you can do for them. So if they want to hire you and get you to come in for them, where can we be in touch with you? And your
Yeah, I
social
can be
media
reached. I
handles?
do offer free in-home consultations as well, because I'm really big on the fit being right. I want to make sure that I'm the right organizer for you,
Okay.
because there's different approaches to organizing.
Right.
So I like that opportunity to get to know the person a little bit, to see around, and to give a bit of an I don't give specific quotes because it's hard to know until I start working with someone. So I do free in-home consultations, And then I offer a whole variety of different packages, everything from in-home organizing, hands-on, like what we've been talking about here, but I also do virtual organizing services with anyone in the world. I'm working with someone in Wisconsin right now.
Oh my gosh.
So I come up with it's all through Skype and through sharing photos. I basically provide a very, very detailed step-by-step action plan and map of, we redid a whole kitchen just virtually. So that's a fairly new part of my offering. So so I can be reached. My website is www.allisonmoon.org.
Okay.
I'm also on Facebook, Allison Moon Organizer. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest.
Fantastic.
I'm all over.
You're all over.
And I've got a Facebook group, which is it's a closed Facebook group, but it's free.
I'm on that too.
And you're on
I'm getting all the little tips lately, and I'm thinking, and now's my time of year for organizing, so I'm getting all geared up. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've been a little quiet there lately, but it's a really nice group of women, really supportive, and everybody's kind of working towards a more organized way of life. So it's if you're interested in that, you can check out. It's called Living Organized with Allison Moon on Facebook.
Fantastic. And we're going to put all of Allison's links right below in this description here. So make sure you're checking them out and checking out Allison. You have been amazing today. I'm not even kidding you. I can't wait to come into my home and help me, because it's when you start breaking things down, you think, oh yeah, that could use some help. And even if you think you're kind of organized, I kind of pride myself a little bit on being somewhat organized. Yeah. But when we start talking, I think, oh no, that needs help and that needs help. So I guess everybody could kind of use a little hand when it comes to organizing a little bit better.
Yeah, we all could.
Thanks so much, Allison.
Thank you. Thanks for
today. I really appreciate it.
Really nice to meet you.
And I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us and tune in today. And remember, what do I always say? You can freak out, you just can't stress out because you had a mommy meltdown. Until next time.